Hey guys, Hydra Clan coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends with another champion guide, this time on Yumeko. Yumeko, one of the best champions inside the entire game, one of the best Void legendaries inside the entire game, and it's my pleasure to chill with you guys and talk about this amazing champion and her unbelievably unique and powerful kit. So a few shouts to you guys, just call me Kopi, looking for a PvE build for Yumeko. The good thing is the PvP and the PvE, they're not going to change that much when building this champion. Really just comes down to how much accuracy that we have on her, maybe a little bit of speed too, but we'll talk about all that in today's video. Zach Alicious got my first Void Legendary Yumeko. Oh man, dude. Congratulations. What a good first Void Lego to get. Just Gaz looking for some Yumeko, as well as Mastercore, as well as, what did you just say? Hail the Harrier? What? Also, Mastercore looking for some more Yumeko and Victor as well. Let's go ahead and jump into it, see what Yumeko does and why she's so unbelievably good. So Yumeko is actually a companion champion over in Shadowkin. I'm on my way to a Lady Mikage fusion, by the way, guys. You can see I just got Tatsu. I still need one of the epics, so it's elusive. It's elusive. Anyway, there she is, Yumeko. She's actually a companion champion with Karato, Fox Hunter. It's weird. I actually like Karato a lot. He does a lot of good damage. He has a stun that resets the cooldown of the skill if it kills an enemy and Yumeko's on the same team. Can't be resisted on block active skills. However, the weird thing about them, I've always thought that they are good in their own right. I mean, Yumeko's S tier in her own right. I think Karato is probably B or A minus or something around those lines in his own right. But you put them together, their skills are a bit redundant. You know, obviously Yumeko's great and Karato's a great nuker, but they're a bit redundant because we're putting skills on cooldowns and then we have block active skills on Karato. So you don't see them run together that often. Although from time to time you'll see them run together because, again, not having that be able to be resisted on the A3 is pretty powerful on Karato. Either way, Yumeko, what is she doing here? Base stats, really solid, 105 speed, 1288, 21k on the HP, defense respectively. We have a 2-time hit. Each hit steals 7.5% of the target's turn meter if this champion has 50% HP or more. Each hit heals this champion by 30% of the damage inflicted if this champion has less than 50% HP. It's a really good move, especially in the arena, stealing 7.5%. Hopefully, she's not below 30% or 50% HP as well. Destiny's Mirror. This is kind of a long ability here, but it's not that complicated, right? It's attacking one enemy, 100% chance to win booked, of placing a hex on them on a 3-turn cooldown. The hex lasts for 3 turns as well. Here's the passive effect associated with this ability, okay? Whenever an enemy tries to place a debuff on either this champion or an ally, has a 50, make it a 75% chance when booked, of transferring those debuffs to a random enemy under hex. Debuffs placed by this champion. This happens before any debuffs are placed on the initial target. So essentially, where I use this the most is going to be Bommel, okay? So when Bommel comes in, as long as we have hex on Bommel, those bombs are going to have a 75% chance to be redirected back at Bommel, okay? Really powerful ability. Obviously, it can also work on Poison, on Dragon. Unfortunately, we don't have a Bommel rotation right now on Doom Tower, so that really sucks. I'd love to show it to you guys. I used Yumeko against Bommel as like my main, you know, and I misspoke too. It's a 55% chance against non-bosses, 30 against bosses, so 50% chance to shoot those bombs back. Either way, it's an effective strategy, not for mitigating all damage, because you're still going to get some bombs landed on your team. However, it's a great strategy for killing Bommel with his own bombs. Pretty cool, right? And it's just, you know, it's a good ability overall. When someone fills the turn meter of an enemy under hex placed by this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. That's her Karato Fox Hunter companion ability. That's not going to happen unless Karato's on the same team. Dance of Time. Decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 3 turns. Increase the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. It's on a 5-turn cooldown. It is the best, or it's up there with the best ability out there in the entire game. It's got some Warlord, decrease enemy skills, and it's got some Kaimar, decreased cooldowns of allies, all in one ability. Super powerful. It can be used because 3 turns isn't, you know, everything, but 3 turns is enough to decrease the cooldown on all the best abilities out there in the game. You know, I'm talking Seer, Karma Burn, Seer activation teams. I'm talking about Poison Combust, like Eleanor or something like that, Theodorus, etc., right? The most powerful abilities, essentially. I'm talking Trunda, right, on Cloak of Ages in the Hydra Clan boss. I'm talking, you know, basically anything 4-turn cooldown or less, it's going to just clean slate, reduce it, okay? And then decreased cooldown of all enemy skills is, again, that's gonna, 3 turns is really good. It's not Warlord good, it's very close. Most of the time, it's all you need. And then on Deep Cover, plays a perfect veil in this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. This is very effective, especially in the arena. For example, in live arena, I always pick Yumeko like first or second. I always pick her pretty early on. She gets banned more than any other champion as well, right? Yumeko and Warlord are always the most banned champions inside this game by a mile, okay? Because you don't want to deal with that dance of time. So anyway, if she is playing, she doesn't get banned. Usually I go against a Siphi because Siphi, Warlord, and Yumeko are the most popular arena champions out there, right? So if I'm going against a Siphi, if they go first and I don't win the speed battle, which I want to on Yumeko, Yumeko has all my best speed gear. You're being forewarned right now. She's going to be very fast, right? But sometimes I get beat because I don't have the best speed gear. I've never bought, even though I've paid quite a bit of money in this game, I've never bought speed packs in the shop. And a lot of whales have. So comparing to other whales and krakens out there, I don't win most of those speed battles, you know? That's where I randomly, arbitrarily draw the line in this game, is speed packs. I don't buy artifacts, you know? Anyway, I digress. The perfect veil is great because if she didn't have a perfect veil for her at the start of each round, Siphi could go in and just put her to sleep, you know, with her A1. And then by that time, they'd have other ways to deal with her and she'd be negated. But the perfect veil, it's going to allow her not to be targeted. And it's going to mitigate AoE damage, AoE nukes by 15% as well. This champion is immune to all debuffs if they're under a veil or perfect veil buff as well. So it just keeps getting better, right? You can't debuff her in the beginning. If the other team goes first and she's under that perfect veil, not only does she have damage mitigation, not only can she not be targeted, but she's not going to be able to get debuffed as well. Whenever a perfect veil is placed on an enemy, has 75% chance of stealing that, and that's only available when Karato is on the same team as well. Accuracy in all battles by 60. Okay, wow. It's a big kit. It's a big kit there, guys. Who do I have here? Oh, I pulled Oella. I pulled Oella for the first time. Maybe we'll do I want to start doing on the channel, I want to start doing companion guides, like 2 champion guides in 1. I don't know. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Look at her ratings. She's a perfect 5 out of 5 on hellhades.com. She's, again, one of the best champions inside the entire game. She gets 5s almost everywhere. It's easier to say where we're not using her than it is to say where we're using her. Fire Knight hard. That's about it. that's about it. She's a 5 out of 5 in almost every area in the game. If we look at her live arena win rates in Gold 4, her ban rate is a 40% ban rate. That's super high. Win rate 52, which is actually really good. Gold 3, ban rate 52% in Gold 3. And why is her ban rate so much lower in Gold 4? I would say because more people in Gold 4 have mythical champions. And mythical champions, because you can't put the alternate forms skills on cooldown, perhaps she's a little bit less effective against mythical champions. Something to be aware of, right? Anyway, we're not really looking at multipliers on this champion too much, but she does have a very impressive 6 attack on the A2 and a 2.8 on the A1. So even on the multipliers, she can smack if you choose to, build her for a little bit of damage. I don't really worry about that on Yumeko, right? She does everything else. You can have other champions deal the damage. So how do I have her built, guys? Again, you've been forewarned here. She's my most used champion, certainly in the conversation, my most used champion on the entire account. So she has some of my best gear on the account as well. So you're not going to get a very free-to-play friendly build today, but it doesn't really matter because the stat priorities are going to be the same no matter where or who you're using, along with her. No matter which account you're using, you're still going to have the same priorities in terms of how you want to build this champion, okay? So the 2 stats that we care about the most, by far and away, on Yumeko are going to be accuracy and speed. Okay, that's why I think that perception gear is the best for her because we get both of those stats. I also like to throw in 1 speed set, but you can do whatever you want, right? So triple perception's fine. Triple speed is also fine. Ideally, we want Yumeko to be the first person to go on our team, or the second after an Arbiter or a whoever you're using for your speed booster on your team. So what do I have on her? I have HP. After that, survivability, HP, and defense. So we have HP or resistance, depending on which way you want to go. I have HP on the ring. I have HP on the amulet, and I have accuracy on the banner with a trip speed roll. I have speed with speed on the boots. I mean, if you're going to give any champion on your account speed boots with speed ascension stats, Yumeko, Arbiter, Yumeko, right? Then we have accuracy on the chest, okay? And then we have defense percentage or HP percentage on the gauntlets. And after that, we're just looking for as much speed as we can get. And as you guys can see, again, a quad speed roll. I only have 2 quad speed rolls on my entire account. So she has one of them. And then we have a trip speed, and what was it? A double speed right there. So we could probably improve a little bit, but I wanted the accuracy on the chest as well. And then a trip speed on the gauntlets. Do I have a 6-star? Because a 4? Nah, I don't have a 6-star haste glyph, unfortunately. All right, guys. So that's the build. Total stats, 367 on the speed, 632 on the accuracy. And then some decent survivability too, 4,300 and 6,500 as well. Let's go to, as I mentioned, her multipliers are good, but her base attack is so low that it's not really, I don't think it's worth worrying about any sort of damage from this champion. I like Temporal Chains. It's my favorite blessing to put on my Yumeko. She's going to have sky-high accuracy anyway. Decrease each target speed for each active buff they are under, except for the buffs placed by the start of the round. Whenever an enemy receives a third active buff, instantly decreases the turn meter of all enemies by, in this case, 5% for each active buff, up to 15%. It's a really nice control ability to put on an already control champion. I prefer personally Temporal Chains on my Warlords and my Yumekos and my Bashers for that matter. Live Arena just opened. Let's just go ahead and do a Live Arena match, guys. But first, Masteries. We went defense with Retribution. Keep in mind, counterattacks are going to be stealing that turn meter. We want her to counterattack. And in the support tree, we came down the right-hand side, picked up all the accuracy masteries, picked up Lure of Steel. It works on all 3 of our artifact sets. Evil Eye, Master Hexer, coming down to Eagle Eye. So Evil Eye, Master Hexer, Eagle Eye. Master Hexer will synergize, obviously, with the Hex on the A2. It's not a must-have by any stretch of the matter, but we want to get down to Eagle Eye because we want even more accuracy on this champion. So there you go. The one thing I would say on a PvE build, people asked about, well, how would you build her for PvE? You could, if you did not want to use her in the arena at all, but which, why wouldn't you? She's the best arena champion or in the conversation, top 5, right? So this is why I strongly advise you go with Eagle Eye, as a tier 6 mastery. But if you just wanted damage against bosses and you didn't care about arena at all, you could go offense, hug the left-hand side, and go with War Master. But I would not advise it personally. So there you go, guys. That's the build. Like I said, Live Arena just opened. Let's just go ahead and do a Live Arena battle. Let's warm up really quickly with a classic arena battle. I don't even know which team, where I am and which team I'm running right now. Let's go against this team, right? They got 2 Siffies and a Duchess. Okay. It's all no nuke, all defense. So let's just go with, this is kind of a crazy team I was just messing around with. I just pulled Taurus today, or yesterday at the time of this recording. So I have Gamaran, Yumeko, Taurus, and Marichka. Super pay to win with a Gamaran thrown in, right? So it's not the best team, actually, because we want as many buffs as possible for Taurus, but it's fun. Let's just go into A2. Let's go to this. So she went first, which is exactly what we want, right? We talked about that. She went first, and she put all their skills on cooldown. I've seen some people build slow Yumekos. That way, kind of like a slow Kymar. That way they go after everybody, and you're mainly using her to reset all of our skills. We can block revive with Gamaran. Pretty cool, right? So we're stealing turn meter right there. You can see on the A1. But I don't like that. I really like building her. I don't like building a slow Yumeko. I've tried it just to mess around. I'd rather build a fast Yumeko and go first and CC the enemies. And then as the rest of the battle goes, you're still going to get tons of utility out of resetting the cooldown of all your ally skills, right? But I like building her fast. That's my way to go. Now, I could use the A2, but generally in Arena, I only use the A1. I don't worry about the A2. Because, let's see if we can steal that. Yep. See how we stole the increased defense and then we spread it? Isn't that cool? Game around. I need to do a game around guide here on the channel. I'll do a proper guide maybe later on this week. I haven't built anyway. Not built great, but I haven't built nonetheless. So unfortunately, Duchess did get off her revive right in time for Dance of Time. But who cares? We can come right back in, constant pressure, kill a couple of them. Siffies has nothing off cooldown at all right now. So we can just go in with the... Oh, gosh. There we go. So, guys, as I put this on auto and finish this one up, actually, she gets the final kill. Not bad, right? Not bad. Let me show you. I'm going to link this video for you, too. I'm sure what a lot of you guys think of when you think of Yumeko is Hydra Clan boss, right? Hydra Clan boss with Trunda. Now, shout out to Mac Chan. This is a Mac Chan video in the background right now. I'll link it for you guys if you want to see. But basically, this is what people do with God tier endgame accounts. They run several different... You'll notice my Yumeko is +1 empowered. I empowered her pretty early on. Unfortunately, I should have just built 2. She's definitely a champion you want to build 2 of. If any of you out there have 2 Yumekos or ever pull a second one, I would not empower her. I would build 2. Reason being is she can... Having 2 Yumekos, you can reset Yumekos and reset Trunda on Cloak of Ages basically infinitely. Not really infinitely, but, you know, double resets. And she can do more damage than almost anybody, especially on Hydra Clan boss hard mode, like the easier modes, the 2 easier modes, right? So you can see he's Dance of Timing. It requires 2 Yumekos, and it requires a painstaking amount of auto battle, right? So I'm kind of low-key happy that I don't have 2 Yumekos. But you can see he has Gerptuk Mossbeard pumping out the extra damage. He's going to go in there. He's going to use Cloak of Ages. And then he's going to go right back to the next Yumeko and reset it yet again, right? So you can see all this damage. 2 million and just insane. 10 million, 19 million damage. Before, look at, we're on turn 1 right now. We're on turn 2. And then we just repeat the entire thing again, right? Let's go to the nuke. Right. I think she might be the next one up. Oh my God. Check it out, guys. Ready? Ready? Here we go. Turn meter boost on Arbiter. Cycle 1 more ability. And then here he goes. Boom. Look at that. 35 million damage per hit or so. Yeah, that's 100 million damage in 4 turns. So that's what she can do. You need double Yumeko. I mean, you can pull it off once, right? But to really pull off this strategy where you just, it's key on, the key part of the strategy is that you get all the exposed next, and then you get all the exposed next to get all debuff, decreased defense and weaken, and then you back-to-back on the Cloak of Ages. So it's a very endgame strategy. I hate to say that because I know probably some of you like clicked on this video thinking with 1 Yumeko you can make that happen. You can definitely still reset with Yumeko. Let me run a quick Yumeko reset team. I use her on everything, you know? So Doom Tower hard. Let me go random floor. This is my against, it's kind of a no, I mean, it still works, obviously. I use it on every floor, but against Torment teams, it can take a little bit longer because he revives. We can block 1, obviously, with Lydia, but this is a squad. I have Duchess. Basically, I have somebody with a lot of buffs, right? So Duchess in this case. And then we just reset with Kaimar, and then we can reset with Yumeko, you know? And this is how you want to do it. Basically, the most important thing to know here, especially if you're kind of new to a reset champion, is that you want to turn off the reset ability on the first wave, right? Or maybe even the second wave, depending on, you know, if you have 2 reset champions. If you have a Kaimar and a Yumeko, or 2 Yumekos or whatever, you know, you just stagger those abilities because you don't want to burn them. So if I go to this team on the team setup, I will show you what I'm talking about really quickly here before we jump into live arena, do a quick match there. So on Yumeko, for example, she's not using Dance of Time on the first wave. She's opening with it on the second wave, and then we can just keep things whatever. Kaimar, he's not going to use Seal of Magic. He's going to... So I have it used on the second wave as well, just in case we don't kill everybody. It's kind of a whatchamacallit, a kind of like a Tormund type strategy, right? But basically, you guys get the point. Trying to kind of stagger our abilities there. All right, let's go into a live arena, and hopefully they don't ban her. Let's see what we can get here. So I'm trying to push, maybe in the next week to get Quintus the Triumphant. I took a long break. I mentioned this before, so I'll be brief, but I took a long break from live arena, and then the last maybe 2 weeks I've been grinding up. So making pretty good progress, but it's slow. You know, you only get whatever 5 trophies or so per win. So, you know, try to walk away with maybe plus 30 or so trophies per session, I guess. Anyway, I guess we'll, I was hoping I wouldn't have to cut here. I was trying to kill time, vamping a little bit, but it's taking a while to find an opponent here. Come on. Come on. I don't want to time out either. It usually doesn't take me quite that long. All right, Swee from the Mad Clan fam. Let's see what Swee's running here. He had Timid the Fool's girlfriend over there as his... so he goes Taurus as his first pick. It's pretty... I have to say, it's pretty boring up here. You see the same 12 champions, I want to say. You know, I've been seeing a lot more of lately, though. Like the last week especially. Just out of nowhere. Nogdar the Headhunter. A ton of them. I don't know, like, who from what clan has been running a ton of Nogdar. We might not get Yumeko banned here because I'm going to draft Helikath. Usually teams that run a Taurus will ban Helikath instead of Yumeko and kind of try to strategize around Yumeko. Another counter to Yumeko, we talked about mythical champions. Another one is, I still use her against mythicals though, you know, it's not the end of the world. Another counter is, what's her face? Glycia. Glycia Soul God. Some people hate Glycia. Some people think she's not even that good against, so he goes Warlord and Siphi. I'm absolutely going to go Marichka, so he can't go Marichka Taurus. I could go with UDK. He might go Rotos UDK here, but I'm going to let him if he does. It's cool. He might go Rotos UDK to block me from being able to go UDK, to block his Rotos. But we'll see. I'm just hoping he bans Helikath and not Yumeko, because that would ruin the video. So let's see what Swee goes with. On my last choice, I can go so many different directions. The one thing that I really need on my team right now is still a Reviver. So right now I'm probably going to go Duchess. If he goes Duchess for whatever reason, I will go with Pythion. I'm going to ban Warlord. So let's see. Okay, he really goes curveball here. He goes with a Kymar and a Baron. I'm going to go Duchess and ban Warlord. Okay, so he has 2 massive heavy hitters. He's got to be banning... He's not going to ban Helikath. He's going to ban Yumeko. See? Well, sorry, guys. At least we got some arena in there. And I would just cut to the next match, but I got to go feed my son. He's been waiting for dinner. I was like, one quick video, and it's a half an hour later. So, hey, if you want to stay tuned and see if I can beat this dude, go ahead and do so. If you don't want to, I don't blame you. But hopefully you've enjoyed the guide for Yumeko. Unfortunately, she just gets banned a ton because she's so good in the in live arena. Keep in mind, in gold live arena, we can't pick duplicate champions. So here comes Skypiercer, and it kills almost everybody. But most importantly, we can revive because we have Stone Skin on Duchess, and we keep Marichka alive as well, so we can heal everybody right back up like it never happened. So Kymar does have his... Did he open with Abyssal Gaze? I didn't even notice. Okay, he goes Seal of Magic. So he's going to reset, Constant Pressure again. And then this time, I think I'm going to cut in. Or is he going to get another... Yeah, he gets another one on me. This time, nobody dies, though. So that's good. And finally, we're going to get a turn here. Ah! Man, he kept Abyssal Gaze. I didn't even notice that. He might get me here. He might get me. We'll see. Who's he going to go after? Helikath? No. He goes after Marichka, which is okay. I have 2 turns to revive Marichka or I'm toast. I really just need Helikath to take a turn. That way, but Baron's going to have something to say about it. He's probably going to... Ooh, I would have A1'd if I were him on Harima. But it's looking like I'm probably going to lose this one. The Kaimar resetting Baron really, really hurt me, unfortunately. I was going to say he could have A1'd maybe on and killed everybody off the surplus damage on Baron, but he's playing it safe and there's no reason not to. He's looking really good. So this is my shot here. I'm not going to be able to kill Taurus. I'm not going to be able to kill Siphi. So I'm just going to go for the easy kill so I can trigger the A3 and hopefully provoke and buy a little bit of time. So he's going to revive with a full turn meter on, or she's going to revive with a full turn meter on Baron, which does suck. And yeah, it's going to be toast. So you win some, you lose some. Definitely lost there. Yeah, if I had one more turn, maybe I could have A3'd for the win at the end, but GG's, man, GG's. So there we go, guys. That is the Yumeko guide. Unfortunately, you win some, you lose some. It's hard to make progress in Live Arena when you lose even 1 out of 5. Like every batch of 5 battles, right? I tell myself, okay, I really want to try to win 4 and lose 1. But if you lose your first one, it's like, it's tough. It's tough to make up that ground, you know? Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it here. Much love. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Keep the champion guide request coming. And as always, take care, guys.